Welcome back to the third video in a series about 7 different types of self-care beyond just bubble baths. Today's video is about social self-care. This involves building and maintaining healthy relationships with others. And this can include things like spending time with friends and family, joining social groups, and seeking help for things when you need it. So let's jump into today's exercise. We're going to work out how you're doing in the area of social wellness and what specific actions or activities you can start to take to improve this area of self-care for yourself. So if you already have the free printable workbook, turn to the page that says social self-care at the top. And if you're just working with a piece of paper and a pen, just write social self-care at the top of the page and we'll get started. Just like with each of the other areas of self-care, we're going to start by rating how you feel you're doing in this area. So are you feeling stressed, overwhelmed? Are you feeling pretty good, content, happy, excited, energized? Whatever it is, write it down or select the option on your workbook page. Now we're going to move on to a simple chart. If you're working with a piece of paper, draw a line down the center and put 2 headings, doing and to do. Now I want you to pause the video for a minute and fill out the doing section. What are some things you're already doing to take care of your social wellness? And once you've filled that out, press play again, and we'll go through some specific ideas of other activities you could add to your list of to do in the area of social wellness. The first suggestion, and we've talked about this in last week's video as well, is to take the time to put effort into those relationships that you already have with friends, family, and colleagues. And if you've watched the other videos in the series so far, you're probably already seeing how you can combine activities for each of the different areas of self-care. For example, maybe you're going to take care of your physical wellness by going for a walk, and you're going to take care of your emotional and social wellness by doing that with a friend. Now let's touch on social media, because social media can be good or bad for your social wellness. So think about using social media intentionally. Maybe you want to join a group that focuses on a particular area of interest for you, or a support group, but also think about whether you're spending more time on social media than is actually helpful to your social life in real life. And that leads me into my next suggestion, which is to reconnect with an old friend. Take time to make those in-person things happen. And speaking of in-person activities, sometimes you can get these things going regularly by scheduling reoccurring activities. Maybe you want to schedule a walk every weekday with a friend, or schedule a weekly play date or a monthly book club. Take the time to schedule some of those regular social activities that you'd like to have happening in your life. And then something to keep in mind when you are spending time with those people is to make a point of listening carefully. When you're having a conversation with someone, it can be really a natural inclination to spend time talking about yourself or to think about how things apply to you, which can be good conversationally, but pay attention to the ratio of how much you're focusing on you and how much you're focusing on them. And don't forget to really listen to what they're saying and what they're experiencing. Something you may or may not have considered including in your social life is community service. Think about the different types of social communities that you're involved in and whether there's something you might be able to volunteer to do to help them out. There are probably also things just in your city or town community that are needed. So take some time to do a little bit of research and see what's out there and what you might be interested in doing. And attend social activities. This could be parties, concerts, festivals, and if there aren't really any opportunities that you're aware of, maybe you can create one. And it doesn't have to be a fancy party, for example. If you're not really into throwing parties, just invite some people over, ask everybody to bring their favorite snack and hang out and chat. We talked about setting healthy boundaries when we were talking about emotional well-being, and this applies to social well-being as well. And social wellness is not just about creating a happy, fun, thriving social life. It's also about creating relationships that can be supportive to one another when things get difficult. So you have someone that you can turn to and rely on when you're going through a difficult time, and you can be there for others when they're going through a struggle. Now, I hope you found some good ideas from this list and added to your to-do list of things to try out. Next week's video is about spiritual self-care, so stay tuned for that, and I'll also put a link to the whole playlist for this series.